There we go. I think I'm unmuted. Hello, I'm Dale Jensen, and I'm going to be your instructor for COM 1030 online. For those of you that finished 1020 with me earlier, welcome back. For those of you that are new, nice to meet you. Let's have a look at what we have going on in COM 1030. So I will just pop up my screen share, and we should be able to see some things. There we go. So right now, you should be seeing the COM 1030 homepage in your Moodle. And this is what will pop up for you each time. This little toggle thing on the side, that's if you'd like to jump to specific weeks. So there's that. And this course outline piece, that is the old college goals for what it is you need to be learning. This course overview, due dates and policies. This one is important. This is helpful. I find it very helpful to jot due dates down and have a little note for myself a few days before that, but I'm sure whatever works for you will work for you. Let's go over the overview in total. So your grade comes out at 100% when we add them all together. Quizzes are worth 20%. So we have 2 of those, 10% each. Assignments are supposed to come to a total of 20%, and they will. We've got 3 discussion assignments. Each of those is worth 5%. And then there's another assignment that has, it's like a 2-parter. It has to do with a case study and a diversity reflection. So that is also worth 5% to make your assignments worth 20. Now projects make up the bulk, which makes sense. And in this case, we've got 3 projects. Each of those project pieces come to 60% or come to 20% each. And the projects are essentially portfolios that you're going to make a folder on your computer, and you're going to store each of these particular assignments in those folders. And when that folder comes due, that's when you submit it. So some of this is going to look like a lot, but keep in mind, some of them, the writing portion for you is answering 3 or 4 questions, usually about a paragraph each. So there's some thinking, and I think that you'll find them quite interesting. At least I certainly do. So let's see how this goes. Behind each one, I've put their percentage, if you're curious about where that fits in with things. We have a few things where at the beginning of the name, it says personal portfolio, and then we end up people skills portfolio, but we have these 3 personal portfolio pieces. So you'll work on them during those times. And if you'd like some feedback on them, you've got a spot to submit those into, which we'll have a look at again or in a minute. So these 3 personal portfolio pieces plus an overall reflection will go into your final personal portfolio, which won't be due until the week after. So I've tried to take these portfolio pieces. There's several pieces that go into it, but then, and I can give you feedback as we go along with that. And then you will submit the finalized portfolio when you've polished it and done all the things that you want to do to it at those intervals. Like I said, there's 3 portfolios. One is a personal portfolio, another one is people skills portfolio, and the final one is your professional portfolio. So we've got that kind of thing happening. The last week, just so that you're aware, it ends on the Friday, not on the Sunday, like all of our other weeks do. So that's something to watch out for on that time. So let's have a look more at your course, at the first week at any rate. Oh, so I should probably discuss these pieces. This announcements piece, I'm probably never going to do anything with that. If I need to send a message, I tend to send it out as a group email. But every time I try to delete it, it bounces back. So I guess it really wants to stay. So I'll leave it there. This drop in Google Meet, I've got that set up as a purely voluntary piece from 6:30 to 7 o'clock each Monday evening, Alberta time, where if you have any questions at all, pop on in and ask your question for anything that we've got coming up that week, or anything really along those lines. Now, this academic integrity note, you've likely heard about AI. If you did COM 1020, yeah, I'm fairly sure that you heard about AI. And this is how AI and your college career kind of intersect. So this is something to be aware of. Basically, just don't use it to write your assignments. If you want to use it to do some research, sure. but it needs to be your words in your assignment. It's not a cut and paste kind of situation. Which, based on the plagiarism that you will have done in 1020, I think we're all fully aware of that. This 2-minute video is very handy if you are like me and you don't want your phone pinging off at all kinds of times, because you will be getting notifications, especially in those discussion forums. So learning how to deal with that will help you there. All right, so week 1. Now, ordinarily, they're nice and closed up like this. We click on the arrow, excuse me, click on the arrow and drop it down. Like I said, we've got 3 discussions, and they're kind of unique because they need to be started by the Wednesday of their week, because we need to be able to give people that opportunity to interact and think about their responses. So get started writing on those by Wednesday, but that doesn't mean you need to do it all by Wednesday or all on Wednesday. And please don't. Actually, doing it 2 or 3 days throughout the week, that's much better. So at the beginning, we've got a little blurb about what's coming up this week. We've got our time management discussion, resources, and forum access. And I've tried to make this setup very consistent so that it's not like you're trying to find everything. It should be very sequential. So we've got our time management discussion, resources, and forum access. We have the read and view, that's our resources, and then the do. This is how you jump in and participate. There's some more information here as well. And then we have our first personal portfolio assignment. So it's personal portfolio SMART goals. This is the instructions piece. This will give you a general overview. And I might want to relook at that, but I'm going to give you a general overview on that. Your first personal portfolio piece is all about SMART goal instructions. Or not the instructions, but SMART goals. And this video helps with that resource as far as getting that figured out. Now, some people really like to have notes like on slides. So wherever possible, I've got that happening. So we've got a video piece for those whose learning style is much more attuned to watching somebody present in a short video format. Some people really like to be able to have, that's funny, I clicked on it. Where did it go? I'm not totally sure. Don't know. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention. For making this video, I'm using my old computer, so it sometimes has issues with time. And that's also why the screen is very blue. So for those of you that like to have some notes with some visuals, these are really short notes to highlight the key pieces. And yeah, it depends, just trying to meet different learning styles. That's the goal. So let's get out of that thing. Now, I mentioned that you can turn each of these pieces in, but they're not actually due until they come in with the portfolio. And here's an example. So if you would like some feedback on that assignment, if you get it submitted by Sunday the 14th, then I will give you some feedback on that. So then you can make any changes or not, depending on whatever is working for you. But I will be able to give you some feedback, and then you can have it in your portfolio folder on your computer. And then at the end of week 3, that's when you're going to send me that whole folder. And in this case, the personal portfolio folder will have the SMART goals, and it will have these pieces for the Myers-Briggs. Keep in mind, usually just 3 or 4 questions for each. The core values, it's just got a few questions. And then you'll do a reflection overall. So, and then you can, these submission pieces are there so that if you want to get some feedback, you get them submitted to me that at the end of that week. I'll give you some feedback, and then you have that whole next week before you need to finally actually submit your portfolio. And then we will start on to the people skills portfolio. Hopefully that makes sense. And if it doesn't, send me an email at any time. And I do my very, very best to respond within 24 hours. And it's usually a lot shorter than that. And, or you can pop into that, where is that thing? There it is. So the drop in Google Meet, and we can have a chat there. So yeah, I'm excited about this 1030 course because I find it really interesting in the different leadership styles and the analysis we do with relationships and getting people set up to be leaders in the workforce. It's really quite interesting, and I love it. So welcome. Thank you very much. And I wish you the best of luck.